Hey everyone! Are you ready to take your English listening skills to the next level? In today's video, we've put together a fantastic listening practice session designed to help you understand native speakers more easily. Grab a cup of coffee, sit back, and let's improve your English together. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss a lesson. Let's get started.
Have you ever slept for a full 8 or 9 hours, but still woke up feeling completely exhausted?
Every single morning lately, and it honestly feels like no amount of rest or coffee can fix it.
That is because sleep restores the physical body, but it does not automatically heal a tired mind.
That statement hits so close to home because my body feels fine, yet my mind feels perpetually heavy.
You are definitely not alone in feeling this way, as millions of people experience this exact struggle.
Why does this happen to so many of us even when we maintain a disciplined sleep schedule?
It happens because we constantly mistake simple physical fatigue for deep emotional and mental burnout.
I always operated under the assumption that feeling tired simply meant I needed to go to sleep earlier.
Physical tiredness comes from bodily exertion, which a good night of quality sleep usually resolves quite easily.
So burnout is something fundamentally different from routine physical fatigue.
Burnout is a state of severe emotional, mental, and physical depletion caused by prolonged and unmanaged stress.
That explains why spending an entire weekend resting in bed still leaves me completely drained on Monday morning.
When your mind is carrying unresolved emotional tension, resting your muscles only solves half of the actual problem.
How can someone accurately tell whether they are just physically tired or actually dealing with real burnout?
Physical fatigue makes your muscles feel sore, but your mental motivation and curiosity remain largely active.
Like after a long day of moving furniture or hiking through the mountains.
Exactly, whereas burnout feels like a profound inner emptiness where even small everyday tasks feel completely overwhelming.
You start losing interest in activities and hobbies that usually bring you genuine joy and relaxation.
Yes, emotional detachment, chronic irritability, and persistent cynicism are the primary warning signs of mental burnout.
I have definitely noticed myself becoming much more cynical and emotionally detached over the past few months.
Recognizing those subtle emotional warning signals is the single most vital step toward real recovery.
Why do we so easily mistake mental and emotional exhaustion for basic physical fatigue?
Because our modern culture conditions us to measure tiredness solely through physical output and sleep duration.
We rarely take time to sit quietly and evaluate our emotional battery levels.
We treat our minds like high-performance machines that should run continuously without maintenance or pause.
When any machine runs continuously without cooling down, its internal components eventually overheat and fail.
That overheating process is precisely what we experience as chronic psychological burnout.
It feels like trying to drive a car with an empty fuel tank while constantly pressing the gas pedal.
That constant internal friction wears down your nervous system over time and drains your vitality.
Is long-term mental fatigue actually harmful to our physical health as well?
Unmanaged stress floods your body with high cortisol levels, which weakens immunity and disrupts digestion.
So chronic mental exhaustion eventually manifests as physical illness if left unaddressed for too long.
Precisely, which is why treating mental rest as a secondary luxury is a dangerous misunderstanding.
What are the major everyday lifestyle habits that push us into this state of perpetual exhaustion?
There are 4 primary daily habits that quietly drain our mental batteries without us realizing it.
I want to explore all 4 in detail so I can identify what is happening in my own life.
The first major contributor is social media consumption and the endless wave of digital information we absorb.
Most of us pick up our smartphones and start scrolling the exact second our eyes open in the morning.
Our brains were never biologically designed to process thousands of news headlines, opinions, and images every single hour.
It feels as though my brain never gets a single moment of true quiet or space to breathe.
Even when you sit on the couch trying to relax, doom scrolling keeps your cognitive centers working constantly.
So mindless scrolling on social media is not actually restful at all.
Not at all, because it actively consumes a tremendous amount of subtle mental focus and emotional processing energy.
We also constantly compare our messy behind-the-scenes reality with everyone else's curated highlight reels online.
That continuous subconscious comparison generates underlying feelings of inadequacy and persistent low-grade anxiety.
It turns into an endless loop of digital stimulation that leaves us feeling perpetually drained.
When your brain is bombarded with continuous notifications, it remains stuck in a state of high alert.
How can we effectively shield our minds from this non-stop digital noise and stimulation?
You must establish strict, non-negotiable boundaries regarding when and how you engage with your devices.
Like disabling all non-essential application notifications throughout the entire workday?
Yes, and keeping digital screens entirely out of your sleeping space during late evening hours.
That sounds challenging initially, but I recognize how essential it is for mental clarity.
Giving your brain regular screen-free periods allows your nervous system to finally step down from high alert. The second major driver of modern burnout is people-pleasing and our inability to say no.
I am certainly guilty of agreeing to extra favors and projects even when my workload is already overflowing.
Every single time you say yes to someone else when your inner self desires to say no, you trade your peace.
Why is setting boundaries and saying no so difficult and uncomfortable for so many people?
We harbor deep-seated fears of conflict, social rejection, or disappointing the people around us.
So we routinely sacrifice our own well-being just to keep everyone else comfortable and pleased.
People-pleasing accumulates an invisible debt of hidden resentment and severe emotional fatigue over time.
We expend all our vital energy fulfilling external expectations while completely abandoning our personal needs.
Over time, living primarily to satisfy others leaves your own emotional cup completely empty and dry.
How can someone begin establishing healthy boundaries without feeling overwhelmed by guilt?
You must actively reframe boundary setting as a vital act of self-preservation rather than a selfish choice.
If I burn out completely, I won't have the energy or capacity to help anyone effectively anyway.
Exactly, because you simply cannot pour support from an empty vessel, regardless of your good intentions.
What is a practical and polite way to decline requests in professional or personal situations?
You can say, "I appreciate you thinking of me, but my current commitments prevent me from giving this full attention."
That phrasing is respectful, honest, and sets a firm boundary without creating unnecessary friction.
A clear and polite refusal is always far healthier than an insincere agreement that leads to resentment. The third major cause of perpetual burnout is the near-total absence of genuine solitude in daily life.
Our daily environments are saturated with continuous noise, ambient chatter, media, and urban activity.
When was the last time you spent 20 consecutive minutes sitting in total silence without any distractions?
Honestly, I cannot even remember the last time I sat in a completely quiet room doing nothing.
Most modern individuals feel deeply uncomfortable in silence because it forces them to face their unprocessed thoughts.
So we reflexively fill every single quiet gap with podcasts, music, audiobooks, or phone screens.
Without regular periods of quiet solitude, your mind never receives the opportunity to sort through its experiences.
It resembles running dozens of background applications on a computer without ever clearing its system memory.
Eventually, the system slows down to a crawl, freezes, and experiences a complete system crash.
Solitude provides the necessary space for chaotic thoughts to naturally settle like still water.
Precisely, because quiet periods allow emotional processing to take place effortlessly in the background.
How much quiet time do we actually need every day to maintain a healthy mental state?
Even just 15 minutes of intentional, undisturbed silence each day can dramatically reduce baseline anxiety.
I could easily dedicate 15 minutes each afternoon to sitting quietly with a warm cup of tea.
That simple daily practice provides your mind with a dedicated sanctuary to rest and rebuild. The fourth primary cause of burnout is constant digital connectivity and the pressure of toxic productivity.
Work emails and instant messages constantly ping on our smartphones long after office hours have ended.
The boundary between professional demands and personal home life has been almost completely dismantled.
We constantly feel an underlying pressure to remain productive, active, and useful every single hour.
Modern culture has mistakenly conditioned people to measure their intrinsic worth by their total daily output.
Whenever I attempt to sit down and simply relax, a heavy wave of guilt immediately washes over me.
That persistent guilt is a classic symptom of internalizing toxic productivity beliefs.
We feel guilty for resting because society frames downtime as wasted or unearned time.
Rest is not a special reward for finishing all your work, it is an essential human biological necessity.
We truly need to unlearn the belief that our personal value is strictly tied to our busyness.
When you untangle your work achievements from your core self-worth, a massive burden lifts off your shoulders.
How can we create a firm psychological separation between our work life and our personal recovery hours?
Create a clear end-of-day shutdown ritual that signals to your mind that the workday is officially over.
Like closing all work tabs, putting away the laptop, and stepping outside for a brief evening walk?
That deliberate transition creates a distinct physical and mental boundary between labor and personal space.
Now that we fully understand these root causes, how do we systematically heal an exhausted mind?
We must fundamentally expand our definition of rest far beyond merely lying down to sleep.
Are there specific categories of rest designed to address different forms of exhaustion?
Yes, wellness researchers highlight 7 distinct types of rest required for complete human functioning.
What are these 7 types of rest, and how do they help restore our energy?
The first is physical rest, which includes both passive rest like sleeping and active rest like gentle stretching.
What is the second form of rest on that list?
The second is mental rest, which involves taking intentional breaks from complex decision-making and problem-solving.
Taking brief mental breathers throughout work hours helps prevent cognitive overload.
The third type is sensory rest, which protects your brain from constant environmental overstimulation.
Dimming bright lights, turning off background screens, and sitting in silence for a few minutes.
The fourth type is emotional rest, which means entering spaces where you can drop all pretense and be vulnerable.
Stopping the habit of pretending everything is fine when you are actually feeling overwhelmed inside.
Precisely, expressing your true feelings to an understanding friend offers massive emotional relief.
What is the fifth category of rest?
The fifth is social rest, which involves evaluating which social interactions energize you and which exhaust you.
Spending time with uplifting friends while placing healthy limits on draining social interactions.
The sixth type is creative rest, which allows you to experience beauty without any pressure to produce results.
Walking through a forest, admiring art, or listening to ambient music purely for enjoyment.
And the seventh type is spiritual rest, which connects you to a deeper sense of meaning and purpose.
Practicing daily gratitude, meditating, or participating in meaningful community work.
When you intentionally nurture all 7 areas, your vitality returns organically and sustainably.
This 7-part framework explains so clearly why extra sleep alone never cured my mental fatigue.
If your mind is overstimulated or emotionally drained, physical sleep simply cannot fix those specific deficits.
How can someone who is feeling completely burned out right now begin turning things around?
Avoid trying to change your entire life overnight. Instead, focus on implementing one micro-habit at a time.
What is one powerful micro-habit that provides immediate relief to a tired mind?
Establish the first 30 minutes of your morning as a sacred screen-free period.
No reading work emails, checking headlines, or scrolling through social feeds upon waking.
Instead, drink water, stretch gently, or enjoy your morning coffee in complete peace and stillness.
That simple adjustment anchors your nervous system and sets a grounded tone for the day ahead.
Another impactful step is scheduling rest directly into your daily calendar as an unshakable priority.
Treating your personal rest periods with the same importance as high-stakes professional meetings.
Exactly, because your health and mental clarity deserve the highest level of respect and priority.
We must also practice self-compassion when we feel fatigued rather than criticizing ourselves for being slow.
Harsh self-criticism consumes vast amounts of emotional energy and only deepens existing burnout.
Replacing self-judgment with gentle understanding makes the path to recovery much smoother.
Remind yourself that feeling exhausted is a valid physical signal, not a personal flaw or failure.
How do you handle those days when work or life demands make it almost impossible to rest?
On high-demand days, I rely on micro-rests, which are tiny 60-second breaks scattered throughout the day.
What does a 60-second micro-rest actually look like during a busy afternoon?
You close your eyes, take 3 slow deep breaths, and completely release the tension in your shoulders.
That sounds so simple, yet I rarely pause to take even a single deep breath when I am busy.
Those tiny micropauses prevent stress from accumulating exponentially over the course of 8 hours.
It acts like a safety valve that releases pressure before the engine explodes.
That is a great visual description of how micro-rests protect your nervous system.
Working from home has made this even harder for many people because home no longer feels like a sanctuary.
When your living room becomes your office, your brain never receives a spatial cue that work has ended.
How can remote workers create clear mental boundaries when their desk is 2 feet from their bed?
Designate a specific physical spot strictly for work, and pack away your work equipment at the end of the day.
Out of sight, out of mind really helps signal to your brain that labor is complete.
Exactly, even covering your monitor with a cloth can help create a psychological barrier.
What about improving the actual physical quality of our sleep so we get the most out of it?
Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and completely free of electronic devices that emit blue light.
Blue light suppresses melatonin production, which makes falling into deep, restorative sleep much harder.
Replacing screen time before bed with light reading or listening to calming ambient music works wonders.
That helps bridge the transition from a hyperactive state to a restful night's sleep.
Small, consistent adjustments to your evening routine yield massive dividends for your long-term energy.
How should someone approach their manager or supervisor if work overload is driving their burnout?
Focus on solutions and priorities rather than just listing complaints during your conversation.
Like asking your supervisor to help prioritize tasks when everything feels like an urgent deadline?
Exactly, ask them which projects take priority so you can direct your energy effectively without breaking down.
That demonstrates professional responsibility while protecting your health and work quality.
Good managers appreciate proactive communication that maintains both employee health and performance.
What advice would you give to someone whose loved ones don't understand their burnout?
Communicate your needs clearly and calmly without feeling the urge to justify or defend your fatigue.
Explaining that taking time to recharge helps you show up as a better partner, friend, or coworker.
Yes, healthy people who love and respect you will honor your need for rest and recovery.
And what about dealing with the fear of falling behind if we slow down our pace?
Realize that burning out completely will set you back far more than taking planned, restorative breaks ever could.
Slowing down intentionally actually allows us to move forward much more effectively in the long run.
Sustainable progress is always built on a solid foundation of regular rest and recovery.
Reframing rest as an essential investment rather than a waste of time changes everything.
Healing a tired mind is an ongoing journey of self-awareness, patience, and intentional choices.
To everyone watching or listening today, which form of rest do you need to prioritize right now?
We would love to read your stories and personal strategies in the comments section below.
If this discussion resonated with you, please share it with someone who might be feeling overwhelmed today.
Take a slow deep breath, grant yourself full permission to rest, and respect your natural limits.
Thank you so much for spending this quiet, reflective time with us today.
Remember that prioritizing your mental peace is always time well spent.